Hey, good afternoon, committee members and other parties of interest. The evaluation committee meeting for RFP 242447, the design build services for the fire rescue emergency management warehouse, step 2, will be held in parts by means of communications, media technology, and active participation will be for committee members and advisors only. Provisions have been made for any member of the public desiring to have access to view the meeting. My name is Sybil Tucker. I am procurement buyer for this project. For the record, this meeting is being recorded and has been publicly noticed. At this time, I'll ask each committee member to introduce themselves for the record, and we'll begin with the committee chair.
Good afternoon. This is Mansour Yazdi. I'm with Hillsborough County Architecture Services Capital Programs Department.
I'm Tim Dudley, Hillsborough County Fire Rescue Office of Emergency Management Director.
I am Laura Singer, Operations and Maintenance Division Director and Facilities and Maintenance.
And I'm Bill Hand, Manager with Architecture Services and Capital Programs Department.
Okay, I do want to note for the record that we did have one additional committee member by the name of Roberto Crespi. He's no longer working for the county, so however, we still have a quorum to proceed with, so we are continuing on with the process with the committee members that we have. So we received 2 proposals for step 2. This is the step 2 phase of the project, in which the committee will evaluate, discuss, and score by consensus both proposals received for the project. The proposals are to be evaluated based on the information provided in the proposal as it correlates to the requirements and evaluation criteria set forth in step 2 RFP solicitation document that was posted in Bonfire. So the proposals will be evaluated and scored based on the following criteria. We have criteria 1, the technical approach, ability, and successful experience for a possibility of 10 points. Criteria 2, the proposer's design concept based on design criteria package for a maximum of 20 points. The guaranteed maximum price for proposer's design concept based on the design criteria package for a maximum of 50 points. The guaranteed schedule for a maximum of 8 points. The criteria 5, the alternative design concept and proposer recommended alternate engineering for a possibility of 12 points or a total possibility of 100 points. So with that, the committee will discuss and evaluate, come to a consensus score. I will record the scores as stated. And at the end, I will give the points for the GMP that's based on the formula that was in the RFP document, as well as read the amount of the guaranteed maximum price for each proposer. So with that, I will go ahead and turn the meeting over to Mansour Yazdi, the committee chairperson, to begin the evaluation.
Yeah, we're gonna look at each proposal, individually look at all the criteria. First proposal, which is Bandy Construction Company. So we're looking at the criteria number 1. It looks like that, Bandy Construction Company and JB Architects, they are, teaming up on this project as a design builder. And both entities, have several government facility experience with the government facilities. Most notably would be public safety complex for, the other jurisdiction, like the city. And I didn't see any project they did together as a design build, but Bandy Construction that's on several projects. More closer to our project was the experience with type of project was a warehouse, consolidated project for us, Tilton Construction. And also the architects that have the same experience with, other government agencies. So, and then Bandy's went through all steps of these projects, for the approach. As far as the site works, they understand what they're facing with the site, obstacles, whatever you want to call it, challenges, subgrade, it might be, they speculate it might be a subgrade land because, surrounding projects they've done in the past. But so looks like they know what they're talking about here. They understand the process. They're trying to approach this project, carefully with their, designers. And the other things I was looking at this one is that the soft cost versus hard cost right there. I probably they're putting a lot of money to the design. And now, while looking at these type of projects in the past I have done, and based on what I see right here, they are downloaded a lot of money toward, design, the professional for this project. So it's a little bit concerning for me. But with that said, all this, I give them a score of 8 out of 10.
Okay, so who do you want to go next? Are you going to go through all your scores?
Well, yes, we want to, score each
One at a
category.
time.
Yes.
I'll go first. I saw some of the similar benefits in the first criteria. I gave them a 10 on this one, the level of detail and familiarization with some of the challenges. They've done similar work with facilities in that same proximity. And they gave detail on some of the potential things we would have to do to prep that site to be ready to go. And they have a clear understanding of the type of standards we want in a hardened facility. Saw some of their experiences they've had with some other projects. They've had some warehouse design builds ranging from 3,700 and up to 48,400 square feet facilities, and a few in between that. I saw that quite beneficial. And the breakdown within that 150 days, the production of percentage of how much the design development would be. And then in the detail, some of the critical systems that go along with it.
And you stored.
That's it.
Oh, you can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought they had a solid approach to the technical approach to it. And of course, their extensive experience that they listed was very similar to what we're looking for, and I gave them a 9.
I also thought they did a very detailed analysis of the site issues. They did say that there was going to be additional geotechnical that they would require. And they provided an electrical mechanical system a review of what the requirements are on that. They did say there was some joint experience in doing these types of facilities, but they didn't note the specific projects that were joint. I noticed also their proposed project manager, they're willing to commit the project manager to be on site full time, which I thought was positive. So I gave them a 9.
Did they provide the partner organization, or they didn't provide, landscape architects or geotechnicals? So
They did.
no, they didn't provide that. But even though they talked about, the step process regarding electrical, mechanical, this, I don't know what kind of impact that has on the projects or the formula design criteria package. So I know they put a lot of effort to this, but I didn't get anything out of this, it's 10 minutes. So this is, we understand the projects, so they should, so I expected to understand that. So I'm willing to change my number to 9, not substitution, so.
So we have 2 9s, a potential 9, you have a potential 10.
Good with them.
Was 9.
So,
Bill, you were 9, so 9.
so 9 is your consensus?
Yes. Criteria number 2. Go ahead. Criteria 2.
Mhm.
All right, criteria number 2, which was propose a design concept based on design criteria package. Has a score of 20 points. So I look at, the 3D rendering of the project look was very impressive, like what I didn't see on that one was the dumpsters. Well, I'm very critical, this is a warehouse. How do you see any dumpsters, pad, anything project for this project? But I thought they did a good job as far as rendering translation, so make it a little more understandable, and they came with a bunch of concepts on, alternate. I don't know if this proposal on this tool, the metal building was pre-stand metal building, of course, it was alternate, but there was, the way they did the draft was showing that one was attached to the building. I didn't see anything, saying that, the canopy was supposed to be attached to the building. I mean, probably didn't clarify good. That's the way I read it, maybe the front entrance is considered as a canopy or building eyebrows, there might be, that's what it was a little bit, for me was hard to understand. Okay, even though that one is the alternate, but I don't know. But basically, the approach to this was very good, with that also, I give them 18.
I thought it again very detailed, even made it real easy to take a look at all the different systems. Yes, good catch on making sure we have appropriate sites for disposal. But very detailed going in interior, exterior systems, to even things that we may not have thought of. And then each one of the designs, even with the alternates, giving you the visual displays, the mix and match and how we would add the additional square footage down the road if required. I thought that was very clear and easy to understand. I gave it 20.
I really like their extensive design on the outside as well as the inside. Made it very easy to look at the systems and go through all of that information. I thought it was very detailed. I gave it a 17. 17.
And I agree, I reviewed, of course, the alternative design and design, alternate VE options are different criteria. And this is really talking about their approach to the design criteria design and any alternative concepts that they want to propose, which they did talk about their alternative concepts that were in that other category. And a little concerned about the entry canopy they proposed, with the cantilever. I don't know how that could be a loading requirement. So I'd have questions about that. But I thought the overall discussion about the interior insulation and this possible use of sandwich panels to provide a more durable surface on the inside was a good thing to bring up to our attention. And they otherwise they pretty much confirmed the same footprint on the site plan. There was really no changes to the site plan that I could tell. So I gave them an 18.
So we had 20, Laura had 17, I had 18, Bill had 18. So are we going to go with 18?
I'm comfortable with
Yeah,
18.
So 18 is your consensus?
Yeah. So Bill, I agree with you on this, because, they can't be plus adding the cost to the projects, which will solve that the other. Yeah, we talk about the things, but if we there for so 18.
SP you're talking about, is that
front
the one that's flush
the
or
alternative
the one that,
design,
or the alternative one?
right, that they were proposing.
That was a nice feature, but how.
But they were really proposing as part of their VE, not as part of it. And they did not officially propose an alternative design. They just reference the VE options.
And so basically, that's it. Right? I think that's all we can do.
So are we done now?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, I'll just wait till the end.
To the end. Okay.
I'll just let y'all keep going and then I'll wait till the end.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go with the criteria number 3.
Number
Oh,
4.
4. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we talked about schedule right there. So, Andy really came up with a good, detailed schedules. It was more realistic. Even though, notice to proceed with the projects supposed to be sometimes November. The target in November as a notice to proceed with, with the design building. And, the substantial final completion, county substantial completion date, we established as, October 15, 2026. Then they came back with the September 15, 2026. So in other words, they're gonna do one project 1 month earlier, almost. With the final completion same thing too, so, we mandated to have a milestone of December 15, 2026. They reduced it to November 14, 2026, so they reduced it by 1 month. By looking at the design, from notice, 170 days for the design and permitting, I think was very reasonable, considering the design. Of course, they're carrying that, down from 35% all the way to 100%. But I thought, 7 months, 7 months, 170 days. So what was that? It's about 6 months, almost 6 months for the design and permitting is pretty much reasonable. So they got it. Okay. So what was missing from the schedule was that I didn't see any place but long lead items when they're gonna order it. Even though the description, the approach criteria warning, they said that they're gonna order those products, but I don't see it on the schedule. So I didn't see that one. I didn't see activity on shop drawing submittals for the review. And basically, by looking at the schedule, it was really direct, very precise, very details. With that said, I give them 7 out of 8.
I give them an 8. Thought they had a solid timeline. As we, the biggest concern was the site preparation. Once we have a good foundation and get all that site work out of the way, I don't see anything outside of permitting that should delay that. Keep that schedule. So I gave them an 8.
I gave them a 7. I thought they had a really reasonable, detailed schedule. They presented.
Okay, I noted in the schedule that they are proposing not to do a design development phase. So they were trying to accelerate their design, which was part of the design build process, something they're able to do. They noted a notice to proceed with construction, which really doesn't exist in this process that we're. So it's their call in terms of, once they had approvals of packages of CDs or, for early release or whatever, they can submit that for approval on that. Period for civil design, it seemed like it was extending late versus the ability to get the permitting in place for some of that. The proposed completions, like Monster said, were a month early. That's what they were proposing. But in general, for this process and the project we're on, I thought they had a very detailed understanding. They demonstrated the schedule. I gave them a 7.
So we give 8, 10, we are give 7. And I'm 7 on Bill, 7. So you want to go to 7? Good to 7.
So 7 is your consensus?
That's one. Yeah. So the last criteria we're looking at, criteria number 5. That one is alternative design concept on proposal, recommended alternate value engineering. So let me look at those. Sybil, just for the record, I asked architects to be, for design criteria, architect be, however, if you have any question, we can call and can ask technical question. Okay, so, again, this proposal, Mali Construction Company is a builder. Elaborate again on those, concept alternates, repeated themselves on this package on the, this criteria. But, I'm looking at those, I recommended. I got it, Thank you. Okay, I'm looking at exhibit 4. I had a little hard time to understand what is that BDA system, but it has something to do
It's
with the fire alarm
emergency alerting system,
system. So,
fire marshal requirement.
yeah. So that we have to do survey on the store. So I don't know
Part of the problem is you have to have the building envelope,
if we can do that
or
survey.
you can do the survey.
Yeah, but
Necessarily.
we
The
need it.
full extent.
Yeah.
But what they're basically saying is they don't know what it is, so they just do it. But they made an assumption of a price for the full BPO system.
So anyway, that we just speculated it might be neat. So, then next items, that one, I'm not sure we need it, but that was a good point to bring it up for myself. Second one, it was a sealed concrete in lieu of polished concrete floor. I know that architect specified polished concrete. Do we need that really? I mean, that's something that we're gonna look at this.
Well,
Looks like it's a
we can look at any of the PE options with whoever we select.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I'm just saying that this is something that we're gonna be receptive to this, alternate, but I think that's a
Without
good
input
point.
from the department, but this committee's just going to
Okay.
look at, was that a valid?
Yeah.
Item?
Okay, well, that was a good point, so this is, I look at as a plus, I think that we can consider. The drywall premium wall on top of the insulation, premium wall on top of the insulations. So no, this is, something that probably we want to flag, but we'll discuss it. Doesn't bring any value to the project, but that's something we have to make a decision later. This is the warehouse, so. The same thing they're applying for the alternate number one or two. So, and then it's coming the equipment allowance. Do you know what is this? Which one is this? The proper equipment allowance. Olive, Baylor,
Valor,
appliances left. I don't think we're gonna discuss this one, but it's not okay, so.
They said it was shown, I guess, on the drawings, but it wasn't specified. That's correct. It wasn't really part of it.
Okay.
I think they're really just basically saying it's not included in the price.
On the sandwich panels, I don't know what kind of, benefit it has for this project, so I did not follow the design criteria. The other items, I'm not gonna repeat all these because I repeat for option number 2, 3, the same category.
And we all have our, opposite, and so.
Yeah.
Let you know.
On fire pump, we don't know if we need it or not, just a speculation that we might need it because of pressure on the line for the fire sprinkler system. We don't know, but that's a good point of bringing this one up. So high efficiency purpose gas, water heaters. This is not, this warehouse is not the office, So anyway, I don't know. They didn't provide anything, just mention something, but high efficiency gas.
There was a
Yeah. Okay, the other thing that was talked about that again, to come back to on that, on that canopy, intake canopy, which is gonna add cost to the projects, but, it's a nice feature, but like Bill said, how you're gonna, enforces, and this building is a critical facility too, by the way. So, anyway,
We have extension of canopy over it. So it is some value to that having that extended out.
Yeah, just making sure that it meets the window, that's the one.
Yeah.
so in all considered, I give them 9 for all these because they put in the effort to this unreachable. So,
I gave them, again, very detailed. Giving you the visuals on there, with the descriptions, and the values with the exception of the one. But again, giving you all the options to make an informed decision.
Yeah, I thought they gave a lot of options and I gave them
11.
11.
And I like their options, but they were all ads. That was, value engineering is supposed to provide potential defects. I mean, they're making one UW ad. I was a little disappointed with that. Obviously, they also reiterated our own alternates that we had, they had priced for us. I think the issue with the we did need a fire pump at PSOC, but we did not need a fire pump on the project they did right next door to us, that traffic. So, the perimeter walls, I think the idea of providing a better finish there, either with a sandwich, panel or this drywall perimeter, I think that's a good concept to consider. That's what we have at the PSOC warehouse, the sandwich panel.
But we have jobs for it too. So, when you talk about standard planners, is in addition to the top,
Yeah, because there's foam built into the inside of it.
but energy efficiency.
Yeah, instead of having the insulation exposed to getting hit by vehicular traffic inside of.
So it's not within the top.
Yeah, so you have actually a concrete surface.
I'm not sure about that. How it's gonna work for these projects. I don't know. It's
So again, we don't
something-
have to select anything.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that I don't know if it's gonna be advantageous to us because again, we looking at critical facilities, right?
With all that being said, my biggest concern was there was not, they were items of interest and value, but they were all ads and we had very tight budget. So I gave them a.
So I give them 9.
All over the place.
We give them,
Actually, your side.
Laura give them 11.
Yeah.
So are we willing to go to 9? Because like Bill said, all these are, added, so we're looking for 12.
What is your loss?
You had 9, 11, 12, 10.
Bill had 9, I had 9.
No, you have 8.
I had 8.
I'm sorry. I had 8.
I had
I
9.
had 8, you had 1.
So. We go 9?
I can go to 10. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, again, these are add. Yes, so you're looking for,
Well, we're not accepting them.
I know, but I want to see something that, safeguard my budget. So forget about money right now, but if the definition of this is just any deviation added to all that alternate and offered to the benefit of us.
And that's where they put it all is in this category. So their deviations all happen to have nonsense. Pocketbook.
Okay, all right, we'll go with 10 then.
So is the consensus 10?
Yes.
My number looks good on this, so I always like somebody with quality control. I mean, wonders.
Are you gonna go to the next?
You wanna go there?
Yeah,
So you
yeah, I'm
wanna
just gonna
go
read
there?
it.
Okay. Next proposal is a registered construction and engineering company. This company, contract, was that,
And once parking,
Well,
register as a contractor.
yeah, company and loans and architects. The team of as a design builders on this projects. Both team work as a, I did work on a couple of multiple projects, as a public, big projects same size as ours. One was a wall. Aircraft hangars, already know that.
Yeah.
So, and, which is combination of the warehouse, repair shop, and also the office spaces and beautiful facility. Based on what I'm saying out there. And the other project they did was a warehouse made, distribution warehouse called Saddle Creek Distribution Center, which, approximately 660,000 square foot building. Okay, and I think these two team are the loans and Reaches construction company, team up construct, they did design building these two facilities. And they, based on what I've been through their approach, criteria one, they implement a lot of, technology, high tech, to monitor design, construction, also to share documents with the regulatory and also with the stakeholders on the projects and, do the quality control. And I thought was very impressive on this one. And the other thing was that, design team, it seems like they're a very experienced team. It looks like they have a long-standing relationship with those design team. And also, the other thing is that they're missing landscape architect and survey on this, for geotechnical consultant on the project didn't mention it. And the hard cost versus soft cost was pretty much reasonable, the design fees. Looks like, they understand what is involved and, have to carry it down from 35% to the finish. So I found that this, all that said, I've given them, I give them a 7 for this category.
I gave him a 9 for this category.
Thought they had a solid technical approach and demonstrated experience. I gave them an 8.
I thought their experience together, said 8 years together working the various projects, a couple of them are very similar to scope of this project. I think the more notable part of that is the fast track experience they have with working as a team. That's something that it's difficult to, coordinate design and construction phases when things are moving fast on a project, but they were able to show a successful experience on that. They do have limited permitting experience in Hillsborough County. They emphasize minimizing soft costs, indicated that they would be willing to overlap schedule. And so they have 0 litigation. So again, 7.
So tell me, what did you give them, 10?
9.
9. And Laura gave them 8,
8.
and Bill 7, and I give them 7. So are you willing to go with 8? 8 on this?
Well, 8 is your consensus.
Yes. I like to bring this one up. Really, they explain the package very well too. So they walk us through the steps, through that. Next, next, criteria, it was that, design, what it was that proposals, design concept based on design criteria package. I didn't see that much on this one, just a couple of pictures, they show the overall 70,000 square foot of buildings right there. And they just mentioned something about the color of building, the banding, the treatment and fascia. And, but of course, they brought some issue on that value engineering alternate deviation, whether it's on which we're gonna, score it based on that's criteria, not the fact, but, so I want to really to see more detail, like location of the dumpster. If you show me the rendering, all those things, I will listen. Is that?
No,
No dumpster either. So how you could have a warehouse and not have a dumpster, so that's something that will get in trouble. Everybody gets in trouble for that. So, we got said, so I give them 16 out of, 20. Because, they put a lot of effort to this one to come up with a deviation design, which we're gonna, again, score it. But they didn't mention it right here, But they didn't walk us through this one either, so. I give them 16.
I gave them 18 also, I didn't, just wasn't enough detail for me.
Well, you said 16, you said 18,
Yeah.
the same.
Well,
You said also.
wait till you get.
No,
Well, as far as the detail.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't anything about the interior. Look, I like it.
I sort of took it as, they basically said they're not proposing any changes, other than potentially the paint color, and that's kind of, they try to keep it short and sweet. I feel comfortable that meant, obviously, that they are able to provide the design concept or proposed, I give them 18.
So we got to understand that when we bring it with other proposals, we said that, they'll offer some, alternative recommended things. So we put in that context, so they put a little effort to this, but they put it, they didn't repeat themselves here. So anyway, but, so Laura, you had the lowest is corrected, and because, if we read through the design criteria, each criteria say what is that, so
Okay.
this, so. Then you had,
18.
you had 18, and Bill, you had
18.
18, and I had 16. Are we willing to go with that, 18?
That's a big challenge.
That's okay.
I mean, maybe, you didn't. You don't say like one power about this, but, so basically they're following design criteria, so. Okay. 18.
So 18 is a consensus? Is that your?
So, Bill,
Consensus?
it's okay, that's
That's what my score was.
Oh, yeah.
It was his score. Up to the other two.
Yeah.
I'm willing to listen.
yeah, because, even though they didn't provide a lot of narrative, but they hit the point. All right, next, item is criteria number 4, which is, granting schedule. So, okay, when I was looking at the board, it's bar chart at their schedule. I didn't see mention of, notice to proceed, but I assume that, the day, they're gonna pursue with it. Pre-construction is the day of the notice to proceed, but they didn't spell it out on that on that schedule notice to proceed, the day we anticipated to start the design, construction project. But, the other thing is that, for the design, the emission seems like this, we provided, yeah, the designs looks like it's reasonable, design durations. But I look at the 31 days for permit. I don't know where we can get 31 days of permit on projects. Okay, so they've done a lot of projects because we're complicated claim they did, which, they did. But they should be familiar with this, with our regulatory. 31 days is not time for, site approval for the building. You have to get the building approval before it needs to the site, so. I found the problem with this. Pausing on this, for the construction, or for the fast tracking, they're gonna construct this project for 8 months. I don't know if they know the airport, allocated 35 days for the airport to bring all the fields in. Or this is challenging too. I don't know how you're gonna do all those work for 35 days, so. For the airport, it's a lot of airport, so. Until that construction, 25 days. Is it like curing time, 27 days? Maybe they're using some kind of accelerator in the mix. But I found that 25 days is not enough, so. On the schedule, didn't mention anything about the landscape activity or shop drawing something on. And of course, they didn't talk about the long lead items either. But they're eager to finish that project in advance of what, mandated milestones. With that said, I give them, say, 6 out of 8.
I gave,
I gave them 6.
I noticed they didn't have schematic design in the design, so they were tricking their design phasing. The CD phase looked tight, 2 months. Permitting was too short, looked like they had more like about 2 months, John. They talked about the overlap for site permitting, but they didn't show it in their schedule. And they proposed the completion 2 months earlier, I gave them 6.
So. Then you had 8. So. Moving to go along. Only that considers 6, right? 6.
Fix your consensus.
Yes. You can look at it. Recommended, audio engineering readiness. Exhibit 4. They put a lot of effort to this again, like, the other proposal. One of the items they said they eliminate casting slab and helical anchors. I don't know how it's gonna work with this site, so they're gonna, are they pinning, They have to bring a lot of fields in. To fill the site because we are like, 4 or 5 feet low, so. On the pinning, I don't know how it's gonna solve the problems, so. But. That's something we can do during the, negotiation. I don't think it's gonna fly with us, so. And then the other items they're proposing was eliminating 10,000 PSI background under the tilt out. That one is, I don't think it's gonna happen, that's. I don't know. It's gonna fly with us or with us for the project on the tilt top, this size of projects. That's something you can be looked at in the negotiation or whatever. Then wet curing with a blanket. That's something worth look at in the negotiation or construction. And then other proposed alternative was eliminated internal tilt wall and column line 7 and 9. That one is a shear wall. We cannot eliminate it. So this is structural. Things we can
Depending on how they design the structure.
the structure. So
They would be the
I don't know what's the final way how to do it. So, but it's worth looking at it. The other one is noticeably one notable thing I would like to talk about is the TPO roofing in the lieu of impeachment mud farm. This one, I don't know how I'm gonna go with that, critical facility, we talk about, on the 75 miles per hour, so 150, so I don't know if it's gonna fill with this with our project, but something that that would point to us, so we look at it. Painting interior walls is all hats. That's something we can look at it, but again, it's hard, so. With that all said, I give the 8.
I gave him a 10.
Looking at their alternate roof, there's a large savings potentially there, but we need to understand the uplift requirement.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there looks like there's some valid savings that they're proposing, whether they meet our requirements or not, we have to look further at them, but they did have a pretty good list of things that might be considered. One you did mention, Musser, was the potential change in the column spacing that could result in both savings, but they didn't acknowledge how much that was, so I don't know how to really consider that. But with all that in mind, I gave them a 10.
So you have buttons there,
10.
10.
Yeah.
I had 8 and 9. We need to go with them 9.
Yes.
So 9 is your consensus. Okay, so I will read the points for the criteria number 3, the price. So Bandy's guaranteed maximum price, $21,926,360. Calculated at 47 points. And registered guaranteed maximum price was $20,737,520 for the full 50 points. So let me just recap the scores here. For Bandy's Construction Company for criteria 1, you had a consensus of 9. Criteria 2, you had a consensus of 18. Criteria 3, we had a score of 47. Criteria 4, you had a consensus of 7. Criteria 5, you had a consensus of 10 for 91 points. So for registered construction, we have criteria 1, we had consensus of 8. Criteria 2, consensus of 18. Criteria 3, consensus of 50. Criteria 4, criteria 3, they received a score of 50. Criteria 4 had a consensus of 6. Criteria 5, consensus of 9. For a total of 91 points.
Andre,
Can you go back and add Andy's again? Try to add.
I'm sorry.
Try to add it in my head.
Randy, say that go back.
It doesn't add up to 91. We try to calculate.
Did somebody else calculate?
Okay, never mind. So my question is,
No, it's a tiebreaker.
the Bandy score, if you take it to a decimal, it's gonna be more than 91.
Hey, what-
Well, if you use your formula, the formula is 20,737,5 divided by 21 by 26, 360 is, if you carry the decimals out, 0.9457 times 50, it's gonna be 47 at a decimal, 47.28. So if you have a tie, would that be considered?
Let me check what the tiebreaker is, because we've been. Let me just check the policy for the tiebreaker, one second.
Simpson.
So, I'm gonna have to take a recess to just, consult with management. I have the tiebreaker, but it's for our CCNA process. You don't have the same criteria, uh, to meet that tiebreaker. So I'm gonna take a recess.
Are you gonna put on the document?
And, for those watching, I'm gonna take a recess and consult with my management, and, we'll resume shortly. Okay, I'm still trying to get in touch with my management. So let's take a few minute break and I'm still gonna leave this running for the participant that's watching. But we're just gonna take about a 5-minute break while I consult with my management. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your patience. So after consulting with my management, based on what we have in the RFP document, we are going to have oral presentations from both firms to be able for the committee to interview them and be able to clarify any items that were presented in the RFP, in their proposal. So we will, these scores will remain as a preliminary scores at this time. And then once we have the oral presentations from both firms, the committee will convene and be able to reevaluate the scores based on what's in the proposal as well as what was presented at the during the oral presentations. Okay, so with that, again, just to repeat, the committee will be able to have oral presentations, interviews with the two firms, and then the committee will score at the conclusion of those oral presentations so that we can finalize the scores and make a recommendation for the selection. So we will conclude this meeting for today. I will be in contact with the two firms to schedule the presentations in accordance with our schedules, and I will give instructions to the proposals as to the requirements of the oral presentations. So again, with that, we're going to conclude the evaluation meeting for the step 2 proposals for RFP 242447, design build services for the fire rescue emergency management warehouse project. And that will conclude the evaluation meeting for today. Thank you all for your time today.